All right, welcome back again. So the lab for this one is going to build on top of the follow along, right? So usually our labs are just completely separate apps, and they kind of do the same thing. This lab is different. So this lab is more of a have to figure out some more stuff on your own to build on top of what we've done already. So this view that's here, which by the way is a little outdated because the date format is wrong, it kind of gives you an idea of some of the things we're doing. So I'm just going to kind of walk through just an example of my finished lab. So the finished lab, there's a lot of little pieces. The lab write-up, by the way, has all the information. I'm just kind of showing you what you should be showing me. So a to-do list, so you can create a list. So I'm just going to call it this demo for video. That was the exact same as it was before. You can see that they're sorted by what's called ASCII alphabetical, same as before. You still have the ability to delete a list, so you could choose to delete it. That's all exactly the same. There's also a swipe option where you could just delete one. Again, that's all the same. The only thing that's changed on the list side is I want you to change the way the rename button works. To be honest, I felt kind of guilty about those circles that have like the eye in them. And so what I want you to do is if you click on show rename button, I want you to actually show a button that says rename. And so if I click on this demo for video, I'll just, I don't know, I'll capitalize the V in video or something. And you can see that they go away again. So little tips on that. So in the follow along, we used a detailed disclosure accessory type. In this one, it's still an accessory, but it's a custom accessory view. So you'll have to learn a little bit more about accessory views. And there'll be some hints in the lab doc about how you actually do that. And if you want to make them go away, you can also say hide rename buttons. So that's the only thing that's different in the list is that rename buttons. Once you go in, I'll tell you what, I'll go into one of these. I'll go in my home to-dos. Once you go into a task, you'll notice that it does feel different in here. So the first thing you'll notice is there's still this concept of starred or not. But now there's another concept of done or not. So people like to mark something off as done. And to be honest, they kind of like to see it for a little while before they delete it because they feel proud of themselves. So you can now mark something as done before you delete it. You can still delete things, right? So I could still drag this over and delete it. So a task can be starred or not starred, and it can be done or not done. You can see it got off a little bit there when I drug it over. That's a feature I consider. just teasing. So when you check this box, so like it says finish basement, if I check it, it becomes done. And you can see done because the image changed, right? Really, this is just an image or of a square or a square with a check mark in it. Once you mark it as done, I also want you to figure out how to do a strike through on the text here. So you're going to have to learn how to use an NS attributed string. So this lab you can see is more like figuring things out than recreating what we did in the follow along, right? Other things you can do, so I'm going to uncheck that one, is you can set a due date, right? So this finished basement, it's not due until September the 1st. So it's not due for a long time. And the order is sorted using that due date. So the order goes like this. I'll tell you what, I'll switch a couple of them up. The order goes, anything that's starred is at the top, right? So all stars will always be together. After that, anything that's done will be together. So like, let's say I had multiple done items here. All remaining things come before done items. So there's like priorities and things. And then if things tie, so I'll just go ahead and make them all tie, they're sorted by date. So this is due Monday at 5, this is Monday at 7, and then Wednesday, and then Saturday, and then September, right? But if I check this, it automatically goes to the top because it's starred. So you have to figure out how to do that order. In addition to changes to the table view cell, you're also going to have to make changes to the detail view to show those things. So let's just go ahead and click on one of these. I'll click on Finish Basement. So you can see I came in here to Finish Basement. So I'm going to put on some exclamation points onto the task so it edits. You'll notice that there's a new area here called Notes. So it says lights, then walls, then shelves. And then I'll just say in that order. And you'll notice my keyboard accessory view has two new buttons. It's got a hide and a save. So hide works the same way that done used to work, in that it just hides it. But save, what it'll do is it's basically the same as the save button. So my exclamation point showed up there. Other things, so I will hide the keyboard here, is you can change the date. So let's say I wanted to make it due September the 2nd, and I clicked on save. You can see that now it's due on September the 2nd. The notes view is weird because it's only visible in the detail view, right? So change diapers. At this view, I don't know, maybe it has a note on it, maybe it doesn't. It turns out it does. It's got the note that says Bowen. Same with all the others. Play games with McKinley. Oh, it has notes in here. And you can, add more notes. Other things about the notes is you can see that I can actually put enters in here. So I don't want to close the keyboard on an enter. So that one's different. So if I go back into this, you can see all my notes are still in there. Another thing that's different is this version uses a text view. You can keep it as a text field up there. That's fine. Whenever I made it the first time, I used a text view, and this is actually from that version. So hopefully that shows you all of the new features. So there was the rename on the list. So that was one feature change you have to make. So you have to figure out how to do that. And then there is, so what the heck, I'll make a new one here. There is the notes is new. And then the keyboard hide/save is new. And then the date is new. And the done bool is due. I guess I should have started at the top if I'm making an official list. So the rename is different. I guess I could also say the keyboard accessory to have a hide and a show is different. The date is brand new. The bool is brand new. So there's a lot of little things. So this is my additions for the lab. So this is a task for me, right? So additions for the lab. It has a due date. I guess you could set whatever the due date is for you as well. And then also the striking out of the text if it's done, and the sorting of the list. All right, so that's the idea for the lab. Again, go read the lab document. It'll spell out all the things that you have to make sure that you demo, and it'll also give a couple hints on how to do the different tasks. All right, hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully this app is one that you could potentially use, right? So if you've got a device and you can put it on your device, try using it for a little while and see what features you really would prefer to have in a to-do list and how you'd really like to see things work. All right, so this is the end of a very long unit. So in summary, you learned how to use core data relationships, custom table view cells. I meant to say cells, they're not controllers. Lots of tests with CRUDs. You did it all in Objective-C, so you're probably actually better at Objective-C than Swift right at this moment. We used multiple view controllers, manual segues, selection segues, and we learned a lot about hiding the keyboard. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this unit. Hopefully you learned a ton about core data. Sorry it's long, but to do cool things, sometimes it has to be a little long. All right, we'll see you for the next unit. Take it easy. Bye.